Greetings, YouTube. This is DJ, coming back to you after an extended absence. Life became quite busy, but things are settling down now and leaving me more time to do the things that I love. I thought I would get back into the swing of things by making a video response to Jensari, who answered a Star Wars-related questionnaire originally created by a subscriber of Yerl Poof. Jensari and his exhaustingly comprehensive breakdown of all things lightsaber-related sparked my passion for making videos again, and I figured it was only right that the first one I made after so long be an entry into the meme he hopes to get going. Alright, on to the questionnaire. Am I a Jedi or Sith? I consider myself to be firmly in the Jedi camp. While in the real world, if such a connection to a source of power like the Force existed, I would definitely have a much more ambiguous relationship on how I applied my power ethically, but in the Star Wars universe they actually have concrete objective standards of good and evil. And while the Sith enjoy perhaps a bit more personal freedoms in the beginning, they ultimately become slaves to the dark side. This is on top of the numerous fringe problems with following the Sith way, such as degenerating physically and being forced into a culture of perpetual lethal contest. And even if such problems didn't exist, I have always found that the Jedi way of restraint and peace a much more rewarding philosophical path. I've always believed that the Spider-Man lesson of with great power comes great responsibility. And if 1,000 people had access to a form of power without a strict path of control and service, the temptation for rule of might to arise would be too great, I think. I would rather live a life of service to the people than ruling them through might and fear. So I'll always be a Jedi man. Even if I do have some issues with the Old Republic Cloister Jedi style. Moving on. Favorite worlds. Nar Shaddaa. There's just something so compelling about a planet-sized city that makes the urban hells in Blade Runner look like Jolly Farm Review. It's vibrant, colorful, and controlled by an interstellar Hutt cartel. And that's just awesome. Actually, most of my role-playing characters come from that planet. Usually when I'm playing Star Wars Saga Edition, which I highly recommend. Type of lightsaber, lightsaber color, and fighting style. My answer probably won't be too sexy on this one. I do have real-life experience with bladed weapons from my time in martial arts, and as such I base my answer over 15 years of doing very foolish things with sharp hunks of metal. I would choose a standard single lightsaber, as I find the saber staff too restricting in its moveset, and too reliant on elaborate footwork to make up for this deficiency, causing an unsightly waste of energy. Also, my father made me ambidextrous, but I sure as hell am not, and I think that even with the Force, I wouldn't be much better. This excludes using two lightsabers. I actually have had a chance to hold a curved hilt dueling lightsaber model, but I found that the curve actually restricted many movements, and it cut down on the amount of leverage I could apply, especially for power attacks. Simple, classic lightsaber handle for me. Probably heavily padded, or wrapped with leather to stop slippage, and to give me a good amount of padding. Color would have to be blue. Everything else just looks wrong to me. It's hard for me to articulate, but the rainbow of colors that are possible just don't look right coming out of that handle. Especially the black lightsaber blade. What the DM-So is the perfect fighting style in my mind. It is strong against both ranged attacks and is a powerful dueling style. The two-handed grip assures both powerful strikes and control over the blade. A solid defense backed up with attacks and counterattacks. I can't think of any one style that might offer a more balanced and effective bag of tricks. Well, except Nyman, but fuck the diplomat style. Favorite species? Human. I identify with them more than any other species. Simple as that. Favorite vehicle? The Dynamic Class Freighter. It's sleek, sexy, and it's got that beautiful asymmetrical design that we all love from Star Wars. Oh, and it isn't the eternally overpimped Millennium Falcon. If you were a Jedi, which master would you want? Luke Skywalker. Talk about the perfect balance, man. He's powerful and serene, having trained under two of the greatest Jedi Masters from the Old Republic, but he is not immune to the more tragic aspects of life, which to me makes him more human. He takes the lessons of the old monastic style and blends them with a humanistic approach based on real life, away from a cloistered temple. If you were a Sith, which master would you want? None. Pre-Rule of Two, I would have considered... No, actually, I take that back. I probably would have had to constantly watch my back from fellow apprentices, who might want to bump off a rival. And post-Rule of Two, I would have to kill my master in order to complete my training before subjecting my successor to a lifetime of torture. No, thank you. If you were a Sith, then what would your Darth name be? Darth Cruentus. It's Latin for stained with blood. Seems appropriate, right? They're all kind of emo like that. Favorite film? The Empire Strikes Back. Pretty much for the same reasons everyone else does. Yeah. Least favorite film? The prequel trilogy. All of it. It has no redeeming qualities. If you could write your own Star Wars novel, what would it be about? Whew. If I had the privilege of writing an EU novel, I would probably focus on the life of the common man in the setting. So much of it is dedicated to like the more fantastical expressions of the Force, weird Force traditions, and it's easy to forget about the common people. And I don't just mean mundanes like smugglers, bounty hunters, and soldiers. I just mean regular people living under the Jedi, the Sith, or the Hutts. I think you could craft a very compelling narrative out of that. Which film has your favorite soundtrack? If John Williams conducted it, I'd probably love it. Do you collect figures? No, I do not. In your opinion, what is the best thing about the EU? That anything can happen in the EU. In your opinion, what is the worst thing about the EU? That anything can happen in the EU. What does Star Wars mean to you? Star Wars to me is the modern repository of classical myth. The result of one man's vision to keep relevant the rich literary history of mankind and his legends, but he wrapped them up in a cloth of modern science fantasy. It's a simpler place where good is good and evil is evil, where grand operatic drama is set against the backdrop of space station and alien worlds. A place where dreams are born and imaginations are fired. A place where the story of a farm boy growing up to save the princess from a cyberspace SS officer not only doesn't seem strange, it seems right. It's a place where space monks do battle with laser swords. A place where Muppets hold the wisdom of the ages. A place where wearing a bucket on your head makes you the coolest damn person ever. A place where the symbolism of a giant sand vagina that eats men whole is both poignant and laughable. A place where fallen sorcerers can be redeemed after a lifetime of evil, and a place where the underdog always wins. Star Wars is a fantastic thing, and I will always treasure it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and it's good to be back. I hope this video inspires others to answer the questionnaire, and that we do get a meme going. May the Force be with you.